Well, here I am again. Uploaded a couple of videos here just a bit ago. I actually made them a couple of days ago when I had some time, but I did not get time to upload them. So I uploaded them earlier, just a while ago, and already got a thumbs down on that first one. That's that Spiritual War #1. I got a thumbs down on that. Well, I mean, obviously someone got offended. Oh well. You know, I mean, the thing is that that's one of the big problems that we have in today's society, is we got too many weak people. They are weak as far as, like, they cannot accept the fact that someone else has either an opinion different than theirs, or they believe different than them, and so on. You know, they can't handle that. That's a weak person when they can't handle that. So if you differ from me and you still watch the videos because you're still getting something out of it, even though it may not be exactly the way that you feel or what have you, but you still watch it anyway because you still like most of my content, well, that's a stronger person. You know, that's someone who can still say, well, you know what, I don't really ascribe to that, but you can say that anyway because that's within your right as a person, right? And that's somebody who I could respect. But somebody who just is a weenie about everything, and they let everything that somebody else says bother them, well, you can't really respect that in a person. Probably get a thumbs down on this video too, because they won't be able to handle it, me saying that. You know, but that comes with it comes with work, you know, maturity and experience in the world, to be able to still have, you know, have the ability to watch something or kind of listen to something and try to see somebody else's point of view. I mean, for me, that's like probably 95%, and I'll admit there are some things that I will not agree with someone on, no matter what they say about it. One thing is my stance on Jesus and Christianity. I don't veer from that. The Lord said the way is narrow, and that's it. You know, you can have all the other paths you want, but they all lead down into the pit or the swamp. There's only one that leads the right path. That's it. So, and if you don't believe that, well, that's up to you. You know, I'm just here saying it. It's up to you to accept or reject anything I say. Alright, so this video is just kind of like a combination of a bunch of different stuff. But I just wanted to say something about that because, you know, if you don't like something that somebody says but you still like most of what they say, don't give a thumbs down, just move on. You know, don't be a dork. Right. So what do I want to talk about next? Oh, I want to talk about this thread. So this is the thread that I have been talking about. I'm going to bring it over to the camera for you. Anyway, I don't know if you can read it or not. Maybe I can get a little light on there. Alright. That's Coats Extra Strong. Coats Extra Strong Upholstery Thread. Now this particular thread, I always carry thread in my ruck. Alright. Or in my patrol pack. Either or. So I've always got a small bit of sewing kit on hand. This was wrapped with some masking tape a long time ago. This is a pretty old roll here, but it's nylon, so it's not like it's gonna, you know, degrade really. But it was wrapped with some masking tape to kind of protect it, you know, from the sun and just to kind of keep it all together there and not get snagged on anything. And then I have a needle in there also with a little bit larger eye on it, so that I can quickly get the thread through there without a lot of fumbling around. Okay, but anyway, this is one roll, right? If you ever have never used a roll of thread like this before, this lip on both sides will pop up. Okay, you see now there's a gap there. So when you tighten your thread back around when you're done, you take about 1 inch or so of the end of the thread, the bitter end, you put it in there, and then you push it down and it holds it, keeps it from unraveling. Alright, so that's just a bit of information for you on Coats thread. And what else? Oh, I got in another patch. I had to have this because I'm an old Heckler and Koch fan, an old H&K fan. I've had a few of their products, and I happen to particularly like their old stuff. So it says enjoy Koch Classic, and I have done a good bit of shooting with the H&K MP5, MP5SD, the G3, the 91, PSG1, and the 33. So quite a few H&K weapons that I've been used and familiar with, and I've owned a couple of them and so forth. And they were really good weapons back decades ago. I don't know how they are now, but since this is a classic, right? So I thought it'd be good because it defines between the original stuff and the stuff they got nowadays. I don't know how it is nowadays. But yeah, H&K, you hear about 500 different ways that people say it, but it's pronounced Coke, right? So somebody got it right with the patch. It's Heckler and Koch, H&K, right? So, yeah. I mean, I've used all kinds of different weapons in the years. You know, AKs, FNs, and HK, and Galil, all kinds of different stuff. You know, from French to American to German, Russian, Chinese, all kinds of stuff. But yeah, I always really loved their products. So I thought that'd be a cool patch to put into my collection. So I'm going to be doing a bit of sewing today, and I got to find my, I've got I've got two Swiss Army knives, one for my spring summer kit and one for my autumn winter kit. And the autumn winter kit knife, I gotta find it. It's here somewhere. You know, obviously it's in the coyote brown sheath, so it's gonna be camouflaged, right? So I've got to find that, and then I'm gonna attach it because I did a couple things to my belt kit on my autumn winter. Of course, we are now in late summer, right? So autumn winter is coming up. So I'm gonna have to migrate some stuff from one set to the other set, because it's just too expensive to have two complete sets for your average guy. I mean, it's one thing, it's expensive enough just to have the soldiering kit itself, you know, to have the L.V.I belt kit and the ruck and the patrol and all the pouches to go with it. It's expensive enough just to have that. But then the stuff to fill them, you know, two sets of, you know, I mean, it just gets a bit crazy. I mean, you just have to do what you could do financially. But it's like, you know, field stripping your ration pack. You know, you're gonna like mix and match things. You're gonna use one thing, like I use cocoa powder for a sweetener, or I can use it for a drink. You see what I'm saying? That's it with that. Other thing is I wanted to talk to you about, I'll just do it quickly because I only got about 3 minutes. I wanted to talk to you about having a good machete in your kit. You should always have a good machete. So this particular one I've had for a lot of years. I did have the handle wrapped with paracord at one time. I'm probably going to go ahead and wrap it again. I tried painting it, but it didn't like the paint. The paint would never really dry, so I went ahead and I cleaned it off as best I could, and you could still see some of the residue in there. But I painted the sheath. This is the cold steel. This one's about 15, 20 years old. Cold steel Magnum Kukri machete. Okay, and I had to sharpen this from the factory. It didn't have hardly any edge on it. A lot of them do not. Okay. But I have used this extensively. I've put it through the ringer. But anyway, I sharpened this. It's got a full convex grind on it. This earlier one, I don't know what they're making them out of now because cold steel changed hands. But this earlier one is made out of 1055 carbon steel. It's either carbon or high carbon steel. And made in South Africa. And I have used this. And it really is a really, really good machete. And anyway, so here's a ferro rod. So, you know, it does, you know, strike on the back there. I painted this a few years ago, so it's had plenty of time to cure. And it's hair shaving sharp, so I like to keep it nice and sharp. Although it's a milder steel with a milder Rockwell, so you got to watch it with that. Yeah, but anyway, it's been a great machete. I'm gonna go ahead and wind it up with that, I think. Well, no, I wanted to show you about this one here. All right, real quick. So I got this SE machete. And it's a bit lighter. It's actually kind of thin. But anyway, it was very, very dull when I got it. A buddy of mine gave it to me. because it's got that older, cooler logo on it. And it was really dull. Anyway, I went ahead and convex edged this one too. And anyway, it's pretty nice. We'll give this a go and see how it handles. But I'm not too sure on that one because I think it's still, even for a machete, I think it's pretty thin. Alright, gonna come back at you. I'm gonna have a little video talking about rucksack and patrol pack. So I'll see you there.